EmpowerYou Podcast is devoted to bringing real-world wisdom and encouragement to our listeners, fans, subscribers, and friends. We talk about a multitude of life principles and the process from an economic, societal, and cultural perspective. We believe that in tough conversations and shared wisdom, we can pave the path and leave a ladder for the future. So subscribe to our channel, rate, review, and let us empower you. What's up, friends? If you're anything like me, you realize that eating healthy meals supercharges your productivity and gives you a clear mind so that you can solve more problems at work or in your business. Smile More Meal Prep Service lets you choose from a variety of healthy food options that will fit your dietary needs while putting a smile on your face, so you can stop stressing about eating healthy throughout the week and buying lunches, because Smile More Meal Prep has got your back. And if you use the promo code EMPOWER, you'll receive 15% off your order. So click the link in the show notes, order your healthy, delicious meals, relax, and smile more. Welcome to EmpowerYou Podcast. My name is Kibwe Cooper. I am so glad that you are here. Thank you. Happy Monday. I hope you're feeling absolutely incredible. Today, I'll be doing a solo guest reflection, or I guess a solo reflection. And I really just want to celebrate where we are right now, where we are here and now on EmpowerYou Podcast. And I'd like to start by saying this is the end of our education series. Some of you may know, for several weeks now, we have been investigating, asking questions about education and the role that it plays in our changing society and culture, the role that it plays for millennials who may be going back to school, for Gen Z students, scholars, creatives who are looking to make their mark on the world. We've been asking questions about expense, about practicality, about the path you should take in education. And so if you've been enjoying that, thank you so much, because it's been a pleasure to speak to so many incredible leaders, scholars, experts about the topic of education. So I want to thank all of our guests for their incredible gifts and their willingness to share their time and talent with us on EmpowerYou Podcast. Our world is changing quickly, so much so that we often can lose track of our original intentions as we reach for safety, reach for stability, reach for familiarity. We can often forget to celebrate the beauty and the brilliance of what we consider now, the present moment. And that's what I want to talk about today, about what we're doing here on EmpowerYou Podcast. I want to celebrate what we're doing here on this podcast. So if you will, I want you to take a moment and just take a breath with me. Breathe in and out. One more time. That felt good, right? See, the purpose of all of these discussions about character, about education, about perseverance, about empowerment, is to help you and I remain present. And by asking questions about self-development, we can give our wise counsel, our mentors, our guests, the opportunity to advise us, to mentor our thoughts and emotions in order to help us remain present, aware, and agile in the midst of our changes and transitions and our adversities. And in fact, if we ask the right questions, I've found that they will keep us from falling into indecision, into ignorance, into fear, and into discouragement. We all have our own path to travel, and it's going to come with ups and downs. But the right mentorship, the right advice, the right questions can help us avoid unnecessary heartache, unnecessary challenge, unnecessary adversity. One of the core principles of Empower You Podcast is to pave the path and leave a ladder for the future. You've heard it many times in the intro and the outro, but I'd like to share with you a few definitions that I think will help us understand why we gather here on Mondays and share real-world wisdom and encouragement with one another. The first word I'd like to talk about is pave. And pave in the dictionary means to lay or cover with a material, commonly thought of as asphalt or concrete, right? It means to cover with a material that forms a firm, level surface for travel, to prepare a smooth, easy way to facilitate development. The next word I want to talk about is path. And a path is defined as a track specially constructed for a particular use. It's a way of life, conduct, or thought. It's a sequence of arcs in a network that can be traced continuously without retracing any of the arcs. And the next word is ladder. Ladder is a structure for climbing, a series of usually ascending steps or stages. Now here's the last one. The last word I want to talk about is future. And future is defined as a time to come, an expectation of advancement or progression into a progressive development. A time that is to come. So to wrap all of that up, our goal through these conversations is to set a firm foundation of wisdom and awareness that will guide you and I through the arcs of life and all its challenges and transitions by providing us with wisdom and the self-development needed for us to climb through the steps and stages of life with the expectation of advancement and progressive development for a time that is to come. That's why we gather here, because we are anticipating a time that is to come. That's why we listen and absorb the wisdom and the knowledge of others. That's why we ask questions, because right here, we're safe to be vulnerable enough to allow our minds and our hearts and emotions to be molded in such a way that provides us clarity, provides us insight into what is to come for us. This podcast has really enabled me to experience exponential growth in my own personal life. And I'm truly grateful. We've recorded over 85 episodes, and there's no signs of stopping. So as we are wrapping up one series, which is the education series, I honestly didn't really want to wrap it up. I thought maybe we could do a couple more, and maybe we will down the line. But I think it's time for us to shift into a different series that I have found has really been on my heart to share with you all. And so I've been cultivating it. But before we go there, right, to that new series, I want to talk about what we've accomplished here. I want to celebrate what we have done here. And I say we because as a listener, as someone who has shared content, as someone who has commented, subscribed, liked, followed, you're a part of this. Okay? And so while these wins are personal, these are also community gains to be celebrated because you are a part of this community. Since EmpowerYou Podcast has started, we've been intentionally focused on providing free mentorship to at-risk youth and those Generation Z who are looking for real understanding. And we intentionally have elevated the voices of BIPOC leaders, CEOs, experts, pioneers, because we understand that sometimes the lack of diversity in our voices can create unconscious barriers for everyone. And as a Black man, my goal is to leave the world a little better than what I found it for other Black men, Black women, Black boys, Black girls. That's my first responsibility, right? And the broader responsibility is to all boys and girls. But if I don't take care of me, I can't really understand what the focus is for anyone else. Does that make sense? So we produced over 85 hours of free mentorship that I have gone into schools to present to children, to present to young people, because it's not enough to just make it, right? I'm now going to schools to present it, what we've done here. And it's been an incredible experience, and I'm truly grateful for it. EmpowerYou Podcast provided Fort Wayne, Indiana, which if you're not familiar, I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Well, at least that's where this podcast is from, right? I'm podcasting from Fort Wayne, Indiana. We provided the first podcast creation boot camp, which was ever to happen here in Fort Wayne. It was even featured on our local news in October. We also organized the first live podcast event at Promenade Park, which is a really prominent park here in Fort Wayne. It was called Creating a Path to Power. We featured Parkview's Chief Diversity Officer, Dr. Diana Jackson Davis, in July of 2021. We also served over 15 clients through events and coaching programs during 2021, and we impacted over 10,000 listeners, subscribers, regionally and internationally. EmpowerYou Podcast has listenership in over 7 countries and 47 metropolitan areas in the United States of America. We reach people all over the world consistently, and we provide them with free real-world wisdom, mentorship, so that we can all move towards our desired selves. We can all move towards our future more comprehensively and with greater ease. So I want to thank you all for being a part of EmpowerYou Podcast. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you so much for all of your comments, your shares, your engagements. And I ask that you would continue to do so, continue to share, because what we're doing here is incredible. And I'm just so grateful. So grateful. All right. So now that we've celebrated what we've done here, I want to talk about something that is yet to come. For several weeks now, I have been really under a bit of a burden to create safer spaces for men who deal with mental health challenges, men who deal with the pressures of society, because I feel like we can become hyper-focused on so many other groups that I think it's time that we spend some time speaking about men, spend some time investigating what men are going through and how we can help men become better, how we can free men from the cages that many of us live in. And if you are a woman identifying person and you love men, you have a son, a cousin, a brother, a father, I think this series is going to be very helpful for you to understand them and possibly empathize, maybe help you get closure and or understanding about your relationship with them. If you're a male identifying person, I pray that this next series finds you and shakes you up a little bit, causes you to look inward, causes you to become slightly uncomfortable as you ask yourself important questions that may change the way that you view your life and the way that you interact with those who are in it. Truth is designed to be challenging. It's designed to make you uncomfortable. And it's also designed to free you from the shackles of your own worries and insecurities. And so, as we attack this programming that most of us men have ingested, I want to first say that this is all coming from a place of love and appreciation. I'm not here to bash men. I'm never here to bash women or bash any ethnic group. I'm here to discuss transparently the things that happen in our communities, in our society, so that we can gain a better understanding and pave an easier way to self-development for a time that is to come. But we have to do that work here and now. And so that's why this men's series is going to be incredible. So what I want you to do is I want you to share this podcast. I want you to share this podcast with your friends, with other men that you may know, and let them know that we're going to be coming out with a lot of programming just for them. And so far, what I've recorded is absolutely incredible. We've got some really great speakers, business owners, trainers, health counselors, therapists, marriage coaches, to really break down some of the things that men are facing and why our outcomes are the way that they are. So I'm so excited about this. I just wanted to thank you all so much for being here, for listening to Empower You Podcast. I want to celebrate where we are right now as we prepare for the things to come. Thank you so much for all of your listenership from all over the world, from all over the country. I appreciate you. I see you. And I want you to know that you are loved. I pray that you all find peace, fulfillment, gratitude in this 2022 year. Thank you guys so much. I can't wait to share this new content with you guys. And I hope that it really, really reaches you. But for now, let's have an incredible week. Okay? So again, my name is Kid Boy Cooper. This is Celebrating Here, a reflection. We will be moving into our new men series next week, and I can't wait to share it with you. So until then, I will talk to all of you all later. Peace. Thanks for listening to EmpowerYou Podcast. Don't forget to rate and review this episode because we would love to hear your takeaways from this discussion. And it helps us reach more listeners just like you. If you'd like daily audio video clips from the podcast, you can find EmpowerYou Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you soon.